Hi guys, welcome to Geturo's Mind Lab. I'm Geturo, and today I want to talk about boundaries and how to establish them in order to have good relationships. So, it's important for human beings to interact with others. It's a very fulfilling thing when you have great friends and you're surrounded by an amazing family. But at the same time, those same people that we have around us are usually the source of a lot of our strife. They're usually the source of a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of insecurities. Yet they're the source of a lot of joy, a lot of encouragement, a lot of success. So relationships are very important, but there has to be a good balance. There has to be there has to be a give and take in any relationship. There's an assumption that people have to fight in a relationship to prove that they love each other. And again, I am talking about the whole dynamic of friends, spouses, parents, that you have to have these conflicts to hash out things. That's not necessarily the case. When you start setting boundaries early, you will find that your relationships do not have to be acrimonious, that you can actually discuss things and be done and move on. So, why is setting boundaries important? When you set a boundary, what you're doing is you're putting a filter on the people who have access to you. You end up finding yourself surrounded by great people because people who respect other people's boundaries truly care about that person. So, if you're in a relationship and you're telling your partner, when you do this, it hurts me, and they ignore that and tell you that's all in your mind, they pretty much gaslight you, then that is a problem. A partner who respects you will want to know what they can do better next time. A good friend will treat you with respect, and they will understand that when you say you're crossing this boundary, they will ask themselves the same question: what can I do to improve this relationship? What can I do to not overstep? When you establish boundaries, you get rid of people who do not care about you. You get rid of people who are caught up in their own mess and are trying to put you into that mix. When you put up boundaries, you tend to feel better. You tend to have a better perspective about yourself because you don't have people planting negative thoughts in your head. You don't have people making you doubt yourself because of the words and the actions that they're doing. The words they're saying and the actions that they're doing. So, being able to say you need to stop, what does it do? It means number one, that people who don't care about you are no longer going to be in your life. I know it's difficult to tell people stop, especially people that you really think you care about, because they you don't want to lose this person. And so you feel that if I tell them that, hey, you need to stop doing this, you feel like they might leave. They'll walk away from the relationship. And then your life will be miserable. But consider this: your life is already miserable with this person in your life. Your life already has issues with this person in your life. So the only way for that relationship to work is for respect to be put in place. If you do not respect each other, you cannot have any type of relationship. If you don't have boundaries that are not crossed, that relationship will not go anywhere. It's going to be a cycle of misery, abuse, and all that type of mess that we generally see in relationships, which are toxic. A person that respects you will hear you when you say, this is not okay with me. do not do this around me. Remove yourself from that situation. Have frank conversations. It is better to lose somebody today and you have an improved version of yourself. You have a person who has a great self-esteem, a person who's not insecure, a person who's able to do the things they want to do in life because they are surrounded by people who build them up. It is better to be alone than to be surrounded by people who constantly make you doubt who you are, make you doubt yourself. The values of the value of a relationship. Because when I say that human beings by nature, we want to interact. We are social beings. But just because we're social beings doesn't mean we have to have everybody around us. No, that's not the case. Not everyone should have access to you. You are important. Your time is valuable. You need to see yourself as elevated. You cannot allow other people into your space unless they are willing to give you the respect that you deserve. And the only way they can show that they respect you is by respecting the boundaries that you set. The only way to protect yourself is to stand up and say, I am done, and walk away. A small circle is better than having a crowd of people that you're calling friends that have no interest in your well-being. It's better to have one friend than have 100 who don't care about you. Being popular is overrated. It is draining. It takes away your individuality. And it takes away that communion that we enjoy when we have a very good friend next to us, when we have a very good partner next to us. You know, I start with friend because I think that friendship, in my mind, is the base for everything else. You cannot have a great relationship if this person is not your friend in terms of as a partner. You have to be able to have a good friendship built on a great foundation in order for you to have a great relationship. So set your boundaries. Speak up for yourself, because yes, there will be pain. There will be pain when you're letting go of this person that you care about. But in the long run, you get a healthy version of yourself. You find that your life is much more fulfilled when you have people around you that respect you and the things that you stand for. It is not easy, but it's something that needs to be done if you want to be happy. When you speak up, again, and this is the interesting thing that I've come to learn, that when you start speaking the truth, when you start setting those boundaries, you will not need to do anything for those people to step out of your life. They will step out of your life by default. They will step out because they understand, well, this person won't let me push these buttons. And when I push those buttons, it makes me feel better. I can no longer push those buttons, so I no longer want to be around this person. You, on the other hand, will realize, wait a minute, I feel much better when this person is not pushing my buttons. I feel much better when I'm not surrounded by toxic people. I feel much better when I have people that actually care about me and I can genuinely trust them. That I know that no matter what I'm going through, that they will stand by me. What you have to gain versus what you have to lose. You gain so much more than you lose. When you think about it, you actually don't lose, you just gain. You know, it's like saying that I have a like a tumor. When that tumor is removed, that tumor is not something that I want to see. It's gone. The only thing that's left is healthy me. When you get rid of toxic people, it's like you're removing a tumor from your life. You did not lose anything. Because a toxic person will always be a toxic person until they decide they no longer want to be toxic and actually work on becoming better people and having better relationships. You can't change anybody. You can only speak the truth, but you can't change anybody. But you have control over your circle, your time. Do not allow people into your life that do not respect your boundaries, because you will have low self-esteem, you will have insecurities, you will have fears about irrational things. You will transfer those negative energy, negative thoughts. You will take them into all your other interactions, and you will find that your whole life is surrounded by misery. Everywhere you go, you take your misery with you. People no longer want to be around you because you're a miserable person. Again, because you don't know how to regulate your relationships and expect for people to treat you with respect. Do not compromise on that. People have to respect your wishes, whether they like to or not. That is not one of those things where there's a discussion. You either respect me or you leave. You either respect me or I leave. There's no relationship that can work without respect. So I hope someone out there hears this. I hope this helps somebody there to have, because my goal here is to tell people that you do not have to have a miserable life. That you don't need a million people for you to feel happy and fulfilled. All you need is friends that value you. They don't have to be many. You just need friends that value you, relationships that are well balanced, and your life becomes easier. Life is already hard enough as is. We make it so hard. So this is one of the things you can do to start healing, by checking who's around you, what they are bringing into this relationship. It is okay to let go of your partner if they don't respect you. Because if you don't let go, you're telling them that you like to be disrespected. That's the signal that you're sending. I like to be disrespected, that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm allowing you to do these things. Again, I say these things because these are my stories. These are my experiences with how I've related to other people. How I've related to people that I have dated. You know, I've gone through relationships where I was a toxic one, where I brought negativity, where I pushed boundaries, where I made the women in my life feel like they're not enough. I have done that. I've been that person. So I have been also on the other side, where people have come into my life and I have allowed them to stay despite the fact that they left me feeling drained, they left me feeling miserable, they left me doubting myself. So when I tell you these things, these are my stories, these are my experiences in life. And I can tell you that today, as I sit here, my mind is clear because my boundaries have been set. And this is an adjustment. It's an everyday thing where new relationships come. I have to deal with different dynamics because you get to know somebody, you know. So then you have to figure out how to deal with the new dynamic. But when you know yourself, you kind of have a base to stand by. When you say this is a no-go zone, this is where you don't cross this part. When you say that, then you're able to present the best version of yourself to this person, and you expect them to always to offer you the best version of themselves. Again, it doesn't mean that people don't get into it, but it means that when you do get into it, you're able to resolve that really quick because ego is put to the side and people are able to come and apologize and say, you know what? I take responsibility for my role in what happened and I apologize. That's one of the most powerful things ever. So I must stop here. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and share with anybody who's out there that you think needs to hear this. Set boundaries and you will have a much more fulfilling life and you'll have much more fulfilling relationships. And I can assure you that you get almost instantaneous results. When you set boundaries, you will see the chain reaction and it only leads to good things. So y'all have a good day, night. I'll talk to y'all later.